All right, this is a video. I'm going to show you some of the steps in progress. I'm framing these right now, and I put them into basic frames that are temporary because most of the time people have things reframed themselves. So these are designed to um, go directly into the frame that I have, an 11 by 14 frame, and this paper is 11 by 14. And I don't put them with a mat, so it's just a basic frame. But these are intended to stay attached with hinge mounts. I just wet them both up, stick them down there where they can't be seen, and then the painting, 3 of them. These aren't wet, they're dry. And I wet them with a wet rag. There's not water in there. The rag itself is wet and squeezed out. It's more than damp and less than wet. Okay, so those are in there like that, holding it back. There is, however, no mat that goes around them, and the purpose of a mat is to keep the drawing or painting from touching the glass, and it does touch the glass in these. And these frames are, by the way, glass and not plexiglass, so that's a big plus. So if they are reframed, then this, which is an 11 by 14 piece of watercolor paper, the same kind of watercolor paper as this, the Canson. Let's see. So if it does go into a larger piece, then a backing, a matte backing, a nice matte backing can be put, and then the mat itself can be, 2 inches or so. And these should have around them about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. And that can be accomplished very easily by attaching this backing to a piece of mat board that's the same size as the frame, and then arranged so that the window in it will be right there. You just can staple it on, tape it on, whatever you want to do. It's not going to hurt it because this is there. So they are designed to be reframed, but they are not really to be taken off of the backing. So this one is all lined up the way it needs to go, and I'm getting ready to wet those and stick them in. These here are ready to be attached to that. I leave them to get bone dry before I move them. And then these over here are all set up with the frames. And all of the stuff that I've been doing, I've been framing this way. Okay, so again, with a larger mat around them, this one in particular, I think, is going to call for a larger frame and a larger mat, and I'm going to, maybe I'll take it over to the framer. I have some frames coming that have larger mats. Also, you can attach this with the tape, sticky side of the tape sticking up, directly to the back of a mat once the window is there. You can attach it to the backing, or you can attach it to the mat with the window. It's not going to show. But this one here, I think, probably calls for a larger frame because there's so much motion in it, and he's running and jumping off, and he might look like he's running into a wall in the frame. So these are all glued and taped and ready to go. Let's put this one up so you can see it. Yeah, it may be too constricting for this one. Maybe not, because this is going to go about like so, and you won't see this much of the white. I'll try to put that on another explanatory note. Yeah, so this actually does have a very nice little mat in it. But these are not standard size. And when something is matted, the bottom is always supposed to be bigger than the top, always. And these standard frames have them an equal size all the way around because they're made so that you can hang it vertically or horizontally. So they just make all of those parts equal, but that's not good practice. And so on these, this is like 1 inch, and this is 1 inch and 1/8, something like that. Or even, yeah, or 1 and 1/16, maybe. It's small, but all of these, the bottom part is larger than the top part because visually it looks that way. If they're hanging on the wall, if this one is the same size, is the same size as this one, it looks like it's falling down. So that's your standard advice. So these are all ready to go. Oh, and this is what you can see here. It's called a hinge. It's sort of hinge matted. A hinge mat, you can open the front and drop it down, and I like those too, but these are put on with hinge mounts. It's just paper tape. So, and if it does come off of here, you can just cut, like there was an accident on one. Somebody spilled some wine somewhere after they bought it. So this took up a lot of it. A larger mat would have helped with that, but this had to go. But these things here, it's just paper tape. It'll last a long, long time. And you can cut them and just leave the stuff attached to the painting itself. Don't pull them off, though, because they'll pull bits of paper with them. So you just leave it attached until it gets so old it falls off, which will be 100 years from now. So, gosh, 7.5 minutes just to do something simple like this. Thank you for watching this, and I'm keeping this for information for people who buy my work that's framed in these things, because they are intended to be, they're safe the way they are, but they're ready to be reframed. But just show this video to your framer. Bottom has to be bigger. So we might have like 1/8 of an inch all the way around here, and then a 2-inch mat all the way around, and the bottom a 2 1/4 inch mat. But 1/8 of an inch is nothing, and the mat keeps the glass away from the painting, especially after they've been in a frame and squished down. So these small frames, but it helps me keep my price down. And for heaven's sake, don't spend more on the frame than you did on the painting. Okay. Thank you very much. Watch my other videos. Subscribe. It's free. Give me a thumbs up. Make a comment. It helps get my videos up where other people will see them, people I don't know, and who like this kind of information. I'm very, very, very traditionalist with my art materials. There's good reason for tradition. Just try it. You'll like it. The older you get, the more you'll appreciate tradition. So, yeah, creativity is not just doing the opposite of what is usually done. Creativity is doing exactly what you want to do within certain confines. Without those confines, you don't have that urge to really be creative. You can't be creative in a vacuum, which is just, by the way, has nothing to do with framing. Thank you for watching. Oh boy, my frames are here. I forgot to show you this. I talked about it and I showed how I could put the little hinges in there. But I should show you how they're folded too. I take pieces, cut a few pieces of paper tape. This is the gummed side. This is the paper side. And I fold them so that the bigger and longer part of it is going to go on the down side, the backing side. And you fold this real well, as if you don't, sometimes the weight of the picture just over time will start kind of pulling this down. So get one that's not folded at all. Yeah. So sometimes if you don't make it so that this very sharp fold is here, then sometimes the weight of the picture will start pulling it down. And then when I fold it too, I try to get the straightest side and then fold this smaller part down and make it about, I don't know, 2/3 or 3/4 of the back side. And fold it real well, and then you can open it up and put some paper on it, water on it. So I'm going to do that right now. Here's my rag and water. I'm keeping it on the floor and away from here because, you know, things can happen. But for now, I'm just going to put this here and show you one of these. I just wipe some damp, no more than damp, but not completely wet, but not squeeze out water wet. Put that back on the bottom. And then it's folded and ready to go. I usually stick the bigger one in the middle. Very gently lift this up, pop that behind it, not all the way to the top edge, which is why you can't really use it like a true hinge. Push it down, move quickly. Here comes the second one. I'm putting water on it now, wetting it now. And this one's pretty wet. My fingers are wet. I don't want that. I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it in here. Just tuck it under there. Doesn't hurt the paper. Doesn't make a weird color come through or anything like that. It's meant for this. This is what we use for stretching watercolor paper. You get a board and you put your watercolor paper in a nice clean bathtub and soak it, and then take it out, put it on the board, and put paper tape all the way around it, and then let it dry. And as it dries, the paper is going to shrink back to its original position and be flat. This paper is very, very strong. If you put it on a board that's less than 1/2 inch thick, it'll often bow the wood. So it's great stuff. And it doesn't involve plastic also. Me and my nanoplastics. But, you know, I come from a time when there wasn't a lot of plastic in everything. It's a great invention, but we need to recycle it better than we have been. We can't just keep making it because it's a petroleum product. And going into the trash, it gets into everything. Anyway, that's that. And then I told you just about weighting it down. And I'll just wait till it's bone dry, a couple hours. I got up real early while it was still dark. The cat led me out here and she said, come, come. And she's never done that before. She usually leads me to a door. So I followed her and she was saying, do one more, do one more. So I did. Thank you, Felice. Okay, just checking to make sure I recorded this. Again, comment, thumbs up, subscribe, it's free. And thank you for getting something out of this. I do it for love of the medium, so thank you. Well, I just hit a bit of a wall here on my framing. I thought I had a bunch more of this Canson Watercolor XL that I've been using to back the drawings that I've done in bars. Some of them are on watercolor, I guess, and some of them are on mixed media paper. And I just found out I have a whole bunch of mixed media paper and not much watercolor paper, and that's what I've been using for my backing. So I want to make sure that I have a record of all of these that before they go out. This is not set up right yet still. Let's see. One last thing to add is what the backs of these frames look like. I think I mentioned that I was waiting for my masking tape to come. I was looking for a picture and they're going, why does that look all blank? That's because it's the back. So I was waiting for my masking tape to come. This is just to keep dust from the back getting in there, because it'll make the edges of the paper a different color over many years, but nonetheless. And all of them I put this sticker on. This sticker is a QC code to the video. If I put it here, you might be able to get it. Okay, so to the video where I talk about all of these before they're framed. But this has to do with the framing. I think that's a pretty good idea. So if you were to buy one of these, you'll have this on the back, and you could look up what all the other ones in this particular suite, I guess, of drawings. Like I say, I'm moving into color again, which is that this is just about the right time for it too, because I'll be able to pay attention to what I'm doing longer than I have been. These are things that I can work on in a bar and get excited about, and then finish them up little by little if I need to do anything else to them. Yeah, moving over to color. Yep, that's it. These papers are probate and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. I've been talking about how to put a larger mat around a painting, one of these kinds. This is what I'm talking about. You can see the edge of the paper, but the mat is about actually 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch all the way around. This is held on with, these things are used for stamp collectors. Well, it's lost its focus because it's a watercolor. Okay. And I used those for a long time. They come in a long strip, and you can just cut them as needed. And they're almost invisible. Rather than putting the tape hinges here. That's what I'm doing now because I can't find them. But I do like to show the edge of the paper And so in a larger frame with a larger mat, you can just get the mat window would be around here. You don't have to take this off, and you don't have to take that paper off. This paper is actually about this big behind here. I mean, it's larger than the frame. So you can have a big mat that comes like so, and attach this stuff to the mat where it's not going to show, because the window is going to be here. So that is actually a very good protector for this, and they're on there with the paper tape. These are looking just stupendous, looking great. The little frames are here, and these are actually all glass. I thought they were acrylic, but I found one broken in they're glass. So that's like, this is just really nice quality frames. They're made in Thailand, and they actually have real glass. The largest ones probably don't, but looking good. Oop. So I'm gonna set these all, I'm gonna put on the backs of these, I'm going to put masking tape that covers these and covers that, so that they're also free from dust getting in. And so they're very well protected, and I think they look just beautiful in these frames. And these are the small frames. They're very easy to do, a little bit nerve-wracking. They're glass also, and you just pull back. This is a malleable plastic that holds it in, and you just pull it back and drop your picture in and drop the glass in and pull it back over. And these all have these things that you fold back to take it out, and then you fold them back down. And it was so easy, even though I have a cat and she's rolling around all over the place. Oop, there's one I didn't push down. I pull them up with a screwdriver, just as a I can't remember what those things are called, like as a lever. Okay. And yeah, I'm heading into the home stretch here, and I have decided I'm going to try to put the color in here. I'm looking for a reference photo on it, but this is also in Patrick Malloy's here, and this is the background, but I want to do it in color to put behind these people. And these are for the smaller frames here. They're drying right now, and I think there are 25 pieces altogether. So pat myself on the back.